What's good, everybody? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Jerry Fit, and we are back to react to what's new on the tube, man. We got another Chilling Scares video for y'all, man. Back-to-back days. Or not back-to-back days. It might be back-to-back videos when I'm posting this. We'll see. But today we got people who recorded their last moments, man. Hey, Brand, one thing I'm going to say is I'll never take life for granted, bro. Every time I see people, bro, whenever they ask me, like, how I'm doing, grateful to be alive, man. Another day above ground, man. Because you never really know, bro. Like, some people really do take it for granted without even thinking about it. We always have to be grateful for waking up for another day, man. You know, I thank God for giving me another 24. I don't know what you guys think or who you think. But, I mean, no matter what it is, like, we just have to be grateful that we get life, man. You never know what someone's going through. So, always just kind of be mindful for that. But, I'm excited to watch this video, man. Chillin' Scares always puts out the bangers, bro, every time we react to it. So we're just going to jump into it, man. Before we jump into it, though, you guys already know what I'm going to tell you, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, bro. You know we're always upgrading, man, posting bangers every single time. So let's just get into it, man. Enough yapping, bro.
35-year-old skydiving expert who lived in the small town of Franklinton, North Carolina. He worked as a skydiving cameraman at the now-defunct Franklin County Sports Parachute Center, where his job was to capture photos and videos of clients who wanted their skydive jumps recorded.
Dude, having this shit as a job must be
every
wild.
day for years. And April 2nd,
Dude, I want to go skydiving so bad too. Like, that's the thing. Like, bro, I've seen so many people do it. Like, especially over like the last year, I've seen a bunch of people do it. I mean, like, I had friends going abroad and stuff, and like, you know, trying different, you know, things while they're out there. So I give all my respect to them, dude. I definitely want to try it at some point in my life, but that's some crazy shit, man. Trusting somebody else with your life while jumping out of an airplane. It's a lot, man. Let me know if you guys ever skydived before.
What began as just another routine workday would end in a sudden, irreversible tragedy. The day began smoothly, with Ivan successfully completing 2 dives by late afternoon. But it was an unusually busy Saturday.
I wonder how many dives they do a day.
Third jump. He was already exhausted by this point, but didn't want fatigue to get in the way of his job, so he agreed to the dive.
Bro.
The plane took off from the runway located right next to the sports center, and within just 15 minutes, it was soaring 10,500 feet in the air.
Was that him that they were pushing into the plane?
Ivan jumped first, making sure to keep his helmet-mounted camera pointed towards the client and their accompanying skydiving instructor. What you're looking at right now is a part of the footage that he captured.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
what happened?
After the jump, the other instructor opened his parachute, which was Ivan's cue to open his own. But when he reached for his ripcord, it wasn't there.
No
Panic set in
way,
as he frantically
bro.
disregarded getting a good shot and searched his body for the ripcord, hoping it was just stuck somewhere.
Yeah, there's
and
no way.
That's when he made the horrifying discovery. He wasn't wearing a parachute at all.
Oh my.
And since the other instructor had already opened his parachute, he couldn't help Ivan in any way.
There was no way.
After realizing his situation, the only words that came out of Ivan's mouth were, "Oh my God."
Oh my gosh, bro. Imagine the panic, like, actually realizing that, like, there's literally nothing you can do, bro, to stop this moment or go back. Or, dude, like, literally just realizing that you just jumped to your death, bro. Bro, and he said he was fatigued before he went on there, man. Dude, that's crazy, man.
Became bloody as Ivan sped up to 150 miles per hour, or over 240 kilometers per hour. He crash-landed in a wooded area near the runway and likely passed away the instant he hit the ground.
Oh my.
When rescue workers found his body, his camera equipment and the VHS tape he was recording on were broken into multiple pieces.
Oh my god.
Fortunately, investigators were able to splice together enough sections to get a good picture of what happened before he jumped. They were able to rule out both foul play and the possibility that Ivan had intentionally chosen not to wear a parachute.
But why would he do that?
If that's the case, how could a seasoned expert with over 800 successful skydives under his belt simply...
Bro, he said he was fatigued, bro.
Unfortunately, none of the evidence the investigators were able to gather answered this question. But given his circumstances, a few popular theories have emerged that offer possible explanations for what might have gone wrong. The first of which is that this incident was the result of nothing more than ill-fated complacency. As I mentioned earlier, Ivan had already completed 2 jumps that day and was exhausted before getting on the plane.
Exactly, dude.
Maybe he assumed he was completely geared up, when in reality he was missing the most crucial piece
Bro,
of
you gotta be
equipment.
careful with that shit,
However, if
man.
he wasn't wearing anything on his shoulders, someone around him would have almost certainly noticed before the jump.
That's what I'm
Which
saying.
brings us to the
Bro, what's
second.
crazy? Wait, so did he jump with someone? Did they say that he jumped with someone? Like, dude, imagine you're going skydiving. You think you can trust your like life in the hands of an expert, and then you jump off the plane, and then you hear him scream, "Oh God, no, bro!" Like as you're falling to your death, bro. That's some crazy
More
shit.
likely possibility. The incident happened because of his camera equipment. You see, unlike today, where a tiny action cam is all it takes to film a skydive, back in the 1980s, recording that footage required bulky camera gear.
Bro, damn.
There's a chance Ivan and the others around him mistook this camera bag for the parachute and didn't realize the truth until it was too late. That said, while Ivan wasn't fortunate enough to survive, the footage of his accident stands as a sobering reminder for skydivers to always double and even triple check their gear.
Bro, that's crazy. I bet like all of his coworkers made
On the
sure
15th
to
of
never do
January
some shit like that.
2023, Yeti Airlines Flight 691 took off from Kathmandu's Triphuvan International Airport at around 10:30 a.m. It was a domestic flight headed for the Pokhara International Airport, located roughly 124 miles or 200 kilometers west of the takeoff location. Things started off just as everyone hoped, with the plane taking off, climbing, cruising, and even descending without any issues. And as it was about to land at the Pokhara airport, one of the passengers started live streaming on Facebook from within the cabin. This passenger was a 25-year-old Indian man named Sanu Jaiswal. He was an adventurous young man who loved nothing more than exploring new places with his friends and experiencing their beauty firsthand. This time he had traveled to Nepal as a tourist with three of his close friends, and after enjoying Kathmandu to its fullest, the four of them were headed to Pokhara to experience paragliding. He was excited for the upcoming adventure and wanted to share this moment with his entire social circle, which is why he started streaming. What none of his viewers knew, however, was that this was going to be the last time they would see Sanu alive.
That's so
Because
wild.
just a minute after he started streaming, the situation took a terrifying turn as the camera became disoriented and the laughter turned to screaming. What followed was an extremely loud explosion. Somehow the phone stayed intact and continued streaming
Bro!
but all they could see at this point was nothing but horrific, with the entire camera feed getting covered in raging flames, and worst of all, the screaming suddenly coming to a halt.
Nah, bro.
Something had gone horribly wrong, and it wasn't long before people found out exactly what.
Bro,
Flight 691
imagine being on that fucking live stream, bro, and you're being like you're his friend, bro, watching your friends fucking crash and freaking burn. Dude, that is some wild. I can't even process that shit, dude. What the fuck? Bro, you always gotta pray over the ones you care about, man. That's all I'm gonna say
had
about
somehow
that,
crashed
bro.
into the riverbank a few hundred meters away from the airport. The crash also caused the remaining fuel to ignite. So by the time the rescue workers arrived on the scene, there was nothing left. The crash and the resulting fire had taken the lives of the 4 crew members and the 68 passengers. Sanu was among these casualties, as he unknowingly recorded his own final moments, with no idea of the tragedy that was about
That's
to
so
unfold.
wild, bro.
The only silver lining in this accident was that the plane barely missed the populated area right next to the river, which would have likely doubled, if not tripled, the losses. As for how things went so horribly wrong, when the rest of the flight had been relatively smooth, a months-long investigation concluded that it was mostly due to human error. You see, the flight was originally supposed to land on runway 30, but for some unknown reason, the pilot requested to land on the indirect runway 12. Now, the co-pilot, Anju Kariwada, was under training at the time, so it's possible the pilot requested the alternative route to teach her how to land at an awkward angle. Unfortunately, while the plane was turning, she misinterpreted a command and accidentally switched both engine propellers to the feathered position. This resulted in the engine stalling and the plane losing control, turning over and crashing into the riverbank. Put simply, a single unfortunate mistake cost the lives of dozens of people and uprooted the lives of hundreds of family members.
Gosh, man. Damn, man. Bro. That,
On June
oh
16th,
my gosh. Bro, remember when all those plane crashes were happening, dude? Do you think it's some, like, result of some shit like that? Like, People in training, dude. I know that they like let people who are still in training fly planes like full of real people, bro. That doesn't sound very safe to me. And it just makes you second guess flying, man. That's crazy. Excuse
2013,
me.
29-year-old Yevgeny Titov noticed a demolition happening near his work in Lipetsk, Russia. He was on his lunch break and had plenty of time to admire the work being done. So he took out his phone and started recording the demolition. Unfortunately, watching this demolition was about to become the worst decision of his life. Now, I should mention that Yevgeny was being as cautious as he could. He was standing at least twice as far from the building being destroyed as the two men in front of him.
Yeah.
Yevgeny was also standing off to the side, since given the demolition method, the debris looked like it was going to fall towards the excavator. Tragically, that is not what happened. As the excavator pulled the wall beyond its tipping point, it didn't detach cleanly and rotated mid-air, sending massive bricks and other debris hurling toward Yevgeny. And while the men standing nearby were nearly missed, Yevgeny wasn't so lucky.
Bro, what?
He was thrown to the ground by flying debris, with the impact leaving him critically wounded while others rushed over to help.
Bro, the other
Paramedics
guys
were
made it
called and
out.
rushed into the hospital. Sadly, it was too late. Yevgeny had
Damn.
suffered multiple complex fractures, damaged organs, and serious brain trauma. He passed away shortly after reaching the hospital,
Bro,
leaving his
that's
wife
so.
and 3-year-old daughter behind.
Oh my gosh, bro. Prayers to the family, man. Oh, dude. That's so hard to hear, man. Like, this dude probably thought he was gonna see some cool ass shit, man. On his lunch break, just chilling, probably having a normal ass day, man. Bro, hard working, man, bro. Not doing anything illegal, man. You hate to see shit happen to
Wanted to
people
watch
like
a
that,
building
man.
being demolished from what he believed was a safe distance. The company in charge of the demolition was charged with criminal negligence for failing to establish an effective perimeter around the worksite, with the video Yevgeny captured serving as a crucial piece of evidence.
Probably
However,
want to
no
pay.
legal penalty could rewind time or erase the damage that
Thought
had
they were
been
gonna say they
done.
didn't win anything. I was gonna say that's. I mean, they must have paid a pretty penny for that.
23-year-old Helen Wendy Nyabuto moved from Kenya to Canada on a 10-year study visa when she was just 20 years old. By 2022, she was close to completing her education while also working as a nurse and a personal support worker in the Toronto area. Things were going well for Helen, but things took a tragic turn in August of 2022 when a single accident wiped out everything she'd worked so hard to build. She was hired as a personal support worker by someone living in the small town of Chatsworth, Ontario. She decided to rent a room in the only motel in Chatsworth to accommodate this job, and started living there. The place wasn't too shabby, but the thing that caught Helen's eye was the motel's outdoor swimming pool.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
on August 8th, she found
Oh,
enough free
what?
time to go for a swim while also
No,
live stream her experience on
dude.
Facebook.
What is gonna
She
happen
had the
right here?
pool all to herself,
I
and it
hope
was
she
every
doesn't
bit as
drown.
peaceful and relaxing as she'd hoped. However, just as she was starting to enjoy
Oh,
swimming,
nah.
disaster struck. About 10 minutes after getting into the pool, she decided to swim toward the deep end. Unfortunately, just seconds after entering the deep end, she lost control and began drowning. She desperately called for help with the little air she had left.
No, bro.
Tragically, there was no one to hear her. After struggling in the water for nearly a minute, Helen lost the fight and passed away just outside the range of her phone's camera.
Dude.
She continued streaming everything live
No
on Facebook.
way,
Her
bro.
last words stating, "Let me some water."
Nah, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Dude, what's up with all this? Like, all these innocent people, bro. And by, like, I don't know them personally, but, like, off on the surface, bro, they seem like good, genuine people, bro, trying to do better for their community, bro. Back-to-back time, or back-to-back moments, dude.
Viewers waited for someone to notice Helen. However, she remained unnoticed.
Dude, do you think people
3
stayed in
hours
alive?
until two other guests finally arrived at the pool and made the heartbreaking discovery while the live stream was still going. But these guests couldn't even believe what they were looking at first.
I know that scares me.
What?
Poodle or something.
Dude, but you're in the water?
It's so realistic. I know. I got in and I was like, is it somebody walk over there? Like, it might have actually somebody there. Because I'm not even going, that looks way too real.
Dude.
They eventually realized the truth and immediately contacted the motel management. By the time someone checked on Helen, she was long gone.
Oh
The
my
live stream helped
gosh,
prove
man.
that this was nothing more than a terrible accident. Though that did little to soften the blow for her family. As her father stated, "I watched the video, I cried. It's terrible." What made the tragedy even more devastating was that Helen was the sole breadwinner for her family. Without her, they couldn't even afford to bring her body home to Kenya.
Oh
Fortunately, when
my
the story made
gosh.
headlines, the internet came together and raised
Good,
over
bro. Damn,
66,000
man.
Canadian dollars to
Good.
cover her funeral expenses and help her family in their time of need,
Dude,
giving
like,
a
that is
somewhat
so
bright ending
tragic.
amongst an absolutely tragic
This was,
situation.
like, genuinely the most tragic story in this whole thing, all around, man. This was
Armin
horrible.
Schmieder was a 28-year-old Italian man with a love for extreme sports. He originally started with skydiving and performed countless jumps across Europe. But as time went on, he started getting bored of
Bro, you're
skydiving and wanted
cooked.
to try something
What
even
the
more
fuck?
extreme.
What
So,
the
sometime in
fuck?
2015, he switched from skydiving to wingsuit base jumping.
Yo, people are
Learning a brand new
crazy.
sport, especially when as dangerous as wingsuit base jumping, was quite risky. But Armin managed to pull through and became quite proficient at it in just 1 year. What he didn't know, however, was that his luck was about to run out. On the 26th of August 2016, Armin climbed to the summit of Mount Kangersteg in the Swiss Alps. On this day, he wanted to live stream his adventure, which started with him putting on the equipment and getting ready for the jump. But since he didn't have any streaming capable action camera or a secure mount for his phone, he came up with an alternative solution, where once he was fully geared up, he told his viewers, "Today you fly with me," and put the phone in his pocket. All his viewers could see now was the
Oh
darkness
my
inside of his
gosh,
pocket,
bro.
with some light bleeding through the fabric. But the audio was still clear enough to understand what was going on, like Armin counting down
Dude,
and making the jump.
this is gonna be nuts,
Right.
man.
Things seemed to be going as expected. However, about 20 seconds after he made the jump, his phone captured the sounds of Armin screaming, crashing into the mountainside, and rapidly
Oh
rolling down
my
the steep terrain.
gosh, bro. No way.
The fall ended with Armin landing in the middle of a cow pasture, now being completely silent.
No
His viewers quickly
way.
contacted the authorities, who spent the next few hours looking for him.
People,
Unfortunately, by the time they found him, it was already too late.
bro,
Armin
damn.
succumbed to his injuries and passed away. And while the Swiss authorities never released the true cause of his death, whether it was equipment failure or pilot error, at the very least, he died doing what he loved.
I mean, get rich or die trying, bro. That's
Andy
crazy.
Pustiu was a 29-year-old pop singer in Romania. He was described as one of Romania's rising music stars and was building a bigger following with each passing year. Unfortunately, before he had the chance to make it big, his career was abruptly cut short on August 15, 2020. He was riding through the city of Ploiesti in a car with his
Oh,
wife behind the
Lord,
wheel.
man.
And as they were making their way through the city, Tavy decided to live stream his travel from his phone. This stream was just him smoking, listening to music, smiling, and having plain fun. But then, a few minutes into the stream, his wife stopped the car at a crossing of sorts. She looked both ways before driving forward, only for the stream to suddenly cut off, with Tavy screaming in horror being the last thing viewers witnessed. As it turned out, the two were crossing a railway line, and while his wife did look both ways, she somehow missed the train barreling towards them. By
Oh
the time they
my,
noticed, it was already too late. Their car was wrecked completely, resulting in Tavy
bro.
tragically losing his life. What's crazy is that just a month before this crash, Tavy made a Facebook post stating, "One day the wrong train will take you to the right destination."
Bro.
His wife miraculously survived, but sustained several
What?
critical injuries. She was rushed to the hospital and put on life support, though I wasn't able to find any reports on what happened to her after that. The now
What?
tragic final memory Tavy
Oh
left to
my
his fans was
gosh,
him
bro.
simply having fun
Dude,
and
literally
being
just having fun, bro. Like, that's so crazy how this video ends because, like, literally, that's what I'm saying at the beginning of the video when I said you always have to be grateful, bro. Like, these guys were happy as hell doing, like, just living life, man. Like, that's so sad when you see tragic stories like this, man. Honestly, 3 straight really tragic stories to end off this video, man. Shout out Chilling Scares for letting us use the content, bro. You guys already know the drill, man. Let me know in the comments if you have any more videos that you want me to react to like this, man. We're always bringing the bangers, bro. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, man. Let me know what you guys thought was the most tragic story in the comments, bro, because this video was full of them, bro. But as always, man, I'll see you.